Hi friends, it's Julie Golding Page, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in St. Stephen, New Brunswick, Canada, along the tidal Scudig or St. Croix River, the traditional territory of the Passamaquoddy, and I'm grateful that they share this beautiful place with us. Go Blue Jays! Today is the day after they won the pennant and the American League Series, and so my family and I are super excited about that. We used to watch them all the time in Toronto when we lived there. And we remain big Blue Jays fans. So I've got my Blue Jays jersey on. This is my Canada Day one. And my blog post and other posts on social media today are about the Blue Jays and Stampin' Up! As well. So let's get right to our projects. I have a free Halloween class for you today. All right, so here we go. These are the cards we're going to make today. And I'll be giving you a little bit more of stamping news as we go along. So let's get right to it. So first of all, let's start with this one. So to make this card, I have all the pieces pre-cut and ready for us. So here we go. And I like to do my stamping first. So we're going to get out this little bit here and we're going to stamp on it. Today we're using the Spooky Halloween bundle. So it's really, really fun. You've got these little characters down here, a broom, a little pumpkin to carry around, and then different sentiments in all different sizes, which I think are really, really nice for this purpose. So today we're going to use this long one for this card, and then we'll make two more cards afterwards. And by the way, if you would like to have the card packets to make these cards, all you have to do is place an order of $75 or more with me before tax and shipping and after your rewards are deducted. If you need to know more about what that means, just let me know. I can fill you in, no problem. So you could just place an order with me and I will send you the card packets for these three cards entirely free. And I will also throw in the shipping of the cards to you. So you don't have to pay shipping. They'll come right to your door absolutely free. And I hope you'll like this. This is a new feature that I'm going to be doing once a month. And so stay tuned for the new schedule. I'm just changing up some of my schedule now to get it in order for after Christmas. I've wanted to streamline it for some time, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, so that everything will be on the same day for you. And I think I'll be less confused, and I think you will be too. I think it'll be good for everybody. So I like that sentiment. Don't worry, eat sweets. Isn't that good? I thought that was really cute. So let's clean up our stamp here. So along with the Jays win, there are some other wins going on in the paper crafting world right now. So Stampin' Up! Has just announced that there are going to be 3 free shipping days. And the free shipping will be on October 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And they will apply to any order of $100 or more. And that again is before the tax is added and after your rewards are deducted. So your retail amount will need to be $100. And if you're not sure how to do that, again, just let me know and I can help you see if you've got what you need. So that will be free shipping kicking in on October 22, 23, and 24. And I would love it if you would order with me. You can get your free shipping on your order of $100 or more, and I'll also send you the free card kits. So that would be great. I would love to help you out with that. All right, so there is the first thing. So this is a fantastic paper. It is called Spooky Sweet. And let me show you some of the other patterns. So it comes with some of these little scenes, like the one that you see here. I think this is super cute, this one. And there's a whole bunch of other ones, like a little streetscape. So you can cut out all of these things individually and make a scene with them. And then you've got this nice fence as well. There's also this one. You can make little scenes out of this paper too. And you could cut out all these little guys. That's where I got the flamingo. And also there's these little tags. And then if you flip it over, you've got all these other Halloween colors on the back as well. So it's a really nice set of paper, and it comes with 2 sheets of die cuts as well. So you can see all the little die cuts. They're pre-perforated, so you just punch them out with your fingers. And you can see I've used a bunch of mine, but you'll see some more in the class as we go. And I really like this new idea that Stampin' Up! Has of including die cuts, because it makes card making so easy and so quick if you need a quick card. All right, but for today we've got this one. So we're going to use the Stampin' Seal, which is a Stampin' Up! Adhesive. We're going to put that on our panel, and then we can put together this card pretty quickly, really. It's really an easy one to do, but it's cute. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's take our sentiment next, and we'll put that on. We're just going to angle cut both ends to make it look a little fancier. Nothing difficult at all. See, that's really cute just to do that. Anybody can do that. You don't need any special equipment or anything like that. And then what I'm going to do is take my Stampin' Dimensionals, these little hexagons that you get from Stampin' Up, and I'm going to put 3 of those on the back, and then we will adhere our sentiment right to our card. Then we will be almost done, except for we need our little character, because we have a flamingo over here, so we're going to need a character. And since I've showed you the flamingo here, I picked a different one for today, so that this card will be a little bit different. So I'm just going to put that down there so you can see what it looks like. Now I'm going to take out our little characters here that we're going to use. Oops, it looks like I forgot to put the cap on my ink pad. I better do that, or we don't want an ink disaster here, that's for sure. So here we go. My card base is Daffodil Delight, which is a great name for a color. I'm going to use my little bone folder here. Get a nice crisp fold. And then I'm going to use dimensionals on the back of my panel. So that was win number 1 I told you about. Win number 1 is that we have free shipping coming up this week. And win number 2 is to go along with the free shipping. I decided to extend my BOGO. So if you haven't been to my BOGO yet and you have an address in Canada, I invite you to join my BOGO. And I've got links about all these things right here in this post. So there's a link to join the BOGO. Just ask to join. As long as you're in Canada, I can approve you. And you can look around there, and you can actually double dip. You can have an order of $100 or more during free shipping and get free shipping from Stampin' Up. And you can also select items from my BOGO at the same time. So all the information is there, and I'd love to have you take a look around. It doesn't cost anything to go take a look. And that is win number 2. So you have another way to get more for less through my BOGO. All right, let's see what we can do here. And win number 3, besides the free shipping and my BOGO, is the amazing joining deal that Stampin' Up! Has on right now. And I'm really advising people to take a good look at this. I've never seen them offer it as inexpensively as this. And Stampin' Up! Itself is saying it's the greatest joining offers they've ever had. So I would take that seriously and advise that you do take a look at it. Look at this cute little guy. Isn't that nice? So the least expensive offer is only $48. It does not have any tax added, and in most places there's no shipping either, so it would be a flat $48 for most people. And you get to select $165 of anything you like from the Stampin' Up! Website. It's no set items. You can just select whatever you need and whatever you want. So that is a really good deal. I love belonging with Stampin' Up! Because they are one of the nicest companies I've ever come across. They say that they put people first, and I found that that is true. You can't say that about very many companies anymore, but they certainly do. So if you're interested in that, and then you get an ongoing minimum discount of 20% when you purchase in the future from Stampin' Up! During your membership. Plus you get to join my Creative Cafe group. So that's yet another thing. So all of this information is linked right here in this post. Now look at those cute little guys. Aren't they nice? So let's put them here on our card. And then we'll be almost done with this one. Then we can go on to our next two cards. Now that guy, I think I'll use the mini dimensionals. These are just smaller hexagons. I like them for little tiny items like this. Perfect, that'll do it. And let's stick this one on. Then we can put on our embellishments and we'll be all done. So if you're interested in the supply list for these cards today, just click through where it says learn more in this post. And I have a blog post with a full supply list. Also a link to the replay, which I'll put up after we finish here today. So look at that, isn't that cute? All right, so we're going to use these matching embellishments, which are called Shimmer Star Foam Stickers. And again, you don't have to remember any of this. I have a full supply list in my blog post. You can just go and have a look there. So these come in white, black, and petunia pop, which is this pinkish purple color. And we're just going to put some of those on our card here today. So let's put one up there. You can decorate however you like. There's so many ways to do this, but I'm just going to do what I did on my sample. So 2 up here in the corner, and then I'm going to put another one kind of over here. And I'm going to use one of these petunia pop ones, just like that. So there's our cute little card. And here's the one I did before. So when I send you your free card class, when you place your qualifying order of $75 or more, what I will do is send you a version of this card. You might have a different background because there are many in the pack of paper. You might have different characters than the ones you see here, or you might have exactly what you see here. So just to let you know, they might be slightly different. They're all coordinating, so no worries there. And let's go to our next card. So this one, we're going to use some of the die cuts. So here's our little hippo mummy. We've got some candy corn, and we've got a bat. So this one, let's start with our stamping as well. So here's all our little pieces. All right, let's start with our stamping. So I'll just get that one out. We'll leave our little bat friend over here for now. And we're going to use the stamp that says Happy Halloween. I really like the bold font on all these sentiments. I find they stamp very nicely. So here we go. I'm going to do our Happy Halloween. So let's see. Whoops, I'm putting it on backwards. There we go. That would be better. And I'm using my Tuxedo Black Memento ink here. That's the standard ink that Stampin' Up! Sells for black ink. And it plays nicely with alcohol markers, which are their Stampin' blends. And we're going to be using those in this class as well. I'm going to show you. I really like their Stampin' blends. They coordinate with everything else that the company sells, and they also are really smooth to use. So there's our stamp image. And we're going to just close that up for now. And we'll keep going. I'll clean that later so we can just save a little time. So we're going to angle cut this again, just like the other one on our previous card. And you could measure your angles, but I just eyeball it. I find that they turn out pretty nicely just by doing it that way. All right, so we got that done. Now we can put it all together. So let's start with our card base here. This one is Pumpkin Pie, which is a very nice seasonal color for this time of year for sure. All right, here we go. And we're going to take these ones. So this is the same Spooky Sweet paper that I'm using in all the cards. Isn't that cute with all the candies? On the other side, it's nice as well with the black, gray, and orange. And how I cut this out was I used one of my favorite die sets. They are called Stylish Shapes. So you can see they have nested circles, nested labels, and nested squares, or diamonds if you like. And I find these the most useful dies I have because they can be used on any card, any time of year. And you can even make little cutouts like this, which is really cool. So I'm just going to flip that over, and I'm going to use the Tombow Multi-Purpose Liquid Glue, which I find to be a very good glue. You just need a little bit of it. You really don't need much. So you'll see I'm just putting a little line of it around the edge. I don't want too much. I don't want it to ooze out the side. And that should do it. Very, very little glue. I think when all of us were in elementary school, we probably used way too much. But with these really high quality glues that you get from Stampin' Up, you really don't need a lot of them. So it's very easy to just put a tiny amount on, and they'll last for a really long time too, because you're not using that much at any one time. Okay, so I've glued that on. That's super cute. And now what I'm going to do is take that and turn it over and put on these Stampin' Dimensionals to pop it up a little bit. And I will adhere our panels to the front of our card base. And then we'll just fill it in with our little characters. Okay, so here we go. Perfect. All right. So let's take our little guy. So this one's facing a different direction, but we're just going to make a mirror image of this card. So if you place your qualifying order and get this whole class free with all the packets, you might get one facing in either direction. You might get a different color card base and a matching figure from the die cuts that's a little different character. So I just want you to be aware it might not be exactly this, but the design will be just the same. So just to be aware of that. You might get a green or a petunia pop card base. It all just depends. Okay. I like how everything coordinates though, so you can still make exactly the same design and it'll turn out really well. Okay, so there's that little guy. I think I missed our candy corn. Did I not put one in that packet? Maybe I didn't, so I'll get one out here. That's okay, it'll let me show you a little more about these die cuts, which is great. So there's a candy corn right there. So I'll take that one out. I'll probably find it as soon as I finish this video. That tends to be how these things go, I find. Do you find that too? You need it in the moment and it seems like it's not there. And then as soon as you finish, well, what do you know? There it is. So, oh well. Okay, so I'm going to overlap it slightly onto our little mummy here. So I'm going to put this one here to pop it up right here. And then I'll put a little glue right on there to stick it to this part that's already popped up. So we'll just spread that glue out a little bit and see how we do with that. There, that should do. Okay. Oops, I forgot to take the paper off. No wonder it's not sticking. There we go. All right, there. Now I will put just a little mini dimensional on our bat friend here and have it flying off in that direction. And then we'll take our Happy Halloween and I'll bring out the regular size dimensionals again and we'll put those on. So I'm going to use 3 all the way across there. There's not really any right way to put the dimensionals on. Some people like fewer, some people like more, but they stick really well, so it doesn't really matter. Try to center that a little bit there. Okay, and now we will put on our little stars. So you can see on my sample, I just put one on either side of the Happy Halloween word. And that's what I'm going to do again. So I'll put one over here and one over here. All right, And that is it for that card. So that's a pretty easy make, especially when you have all these die cuts all ready to go for you. So there's that card. And let's do card number 3. This one has a little bit more work to it because it has some coloring. But I wanted to show you this one because see where I cut out that circle here with the Stylish Shapes dies? I'm using it on this card so that we don't waste our paper. I always hate that, having pieces left over that I've cut out and then I don't know what to do with them. So I decided to right away design a card that would use it. So we're going to use that leftover bit from the DSP, and then we won't wonder what to do with it later. So let's start with our stamping. I've got 2 pieces for stamping, this one and this one, and we'll get those going right away. So they're going to be in this orientation, and we're going to put this one, this sentiment, no tricks, all treats. I don't know why, but in my head I keep thinking all tricks, no treats, and that's certainly not what we want. But that's how I read it every time. I have to actually pay attention or else I say it wrong. So, no tricks, all treats. There we go. So we're going to put that one on. And I'll just pick it up there. You can see that's the one. And I'll get my ink going. So I'm just going to move that over so we have a little bit more room there. And we'll put the Tuxedo Black Memento. And I'll just put it over here. My piece of paper is much bigger than what I needed. But to be honest, all I did was take a scrap of paper that I'd cut out before that was about the right size, or right height that is. And that's what I'm using for it. I keep a drawer full of these little scraps and then I have them when I need them for things. So we're just going to angle cut that again. I'll just do that right now. And this way as well. And there we go, a simple sentiment that suddenly looks fancy. So I'm just going to put that over there out of our way. And we're going to do our second bit of stamping, which is this little guy, our little Franken dog. You can see the doggy ears, and he's kind of dressed like a Frankenstein, although a very happy one, I must say. So we're going to stamp him. And I'm just going to put that on the block. And we need his little pumpkin container as well. So we're going to also stamp that. So that means I need to clean up one of my stamps. I'm just going to do that quickly here, just so I have room for it. I have another block here. If you're wondering about the blocks, by the way, these are just standard kit blocks. So when you buy a kit from Stampin' Up, they give you a free block. And that's exactly what these all are. I use them for almost all my stamping all the time, unless there's something really big that I need a different kind of block from Stampin' Up. So these are just the, standard little kit blocks. I really like them. Okay, so let's go ahead and we will stamp this little dude. And I'm stamping into the stamp pad repeatedly because I like to have a really bold image. Not everybody does. Some people like the distressed look more. So you do you. Whatever suits you is great. And I'm going to get that little guy stamped. So look at that. Isn't that nice and clear? I just find these stamps work really well. And our little pumpkin. And I'm going to stamp that down here. And I'll show you that as well. Okay, so now we've got our stamping done. Now we're going to start our coloring. So here we go. I have all of my markers waiting here. So these are Stampin' blends. Each Stampin' blend is a color that coordinates with all the other products that Stampin' Up! Has, including their ink pads, their papers, their cardstocks. All of them are coordinated. So I've got Petunia Pop. Each one comes with a light and a dark version of every color. I've got Daffodil Delight. I've got Pumpkin Pie. And I've got Granny Apple Green. So that's what we're going to be using today. And I'm going to start with the little guy's face. So we're going to use this one, which is light Granny Apple Green. And there's a fine tip and a brush tip. I'm going to use the brush tip. because we have quite a lot of space to color here. So I feel like the brush tip is the right way to go. I like to kind of outline things first and then just come back and fill in. And these markers are great for that sort of thing because they don't leave big lines. The water-based markers, the ones that probably we all used in school, do leave a lot of lines everywhere, and these ones simply don't. You can also color over and over and over the same place because the alcohol in the markers evaporates and it doesn't pill. So look at that, isn't that good? That was so simple, as you could see. So we're gonna color this. Now we're gonna color little dog's hands, paws, I suppose. Now I'm going to use the other end of the marker, the fine tip. Just color a little down here. And of course, you don't need to color the same as me. I just kind of made this up the other day and I was happy with it, but you can go ahead and just use your creativity. So let's see. So I'm going to use the dark Granny Apple Green now, and you can see the difference here. And there is quite a difference in the colors. So I will show you by putting it closer to the camera here, just after I finish with this color. And you can see how the two tones of the same color are quite different, and it's really nice to have both when you get a set of the markers. I'm glad that they come in the sets of two. Let's see, what else did I color dark? Did I color anything else? No, I think that's all. So look at the difference in the shading. Isn't that different? That's the dark and then the light of Granny Apple Green. So next what we're going to do is we're going to take Petunia Pop Light, and you can always just kind of scribble them on the side to make sure it's the color you want. But I like this one, that color. I think it's pretty nice. It's dark enough the way it is, so I don't think I need the dark version quite yet. And let's see what we can do here. Okay, so we're just coloring really quickly, actually. I've heard that some people are not fans of coloring because they feel like it just doesn't come out right. And for me, it's all about having the right markers, because water-based markers leave those funny lines everywhere. These ones, if you don't like it, you can color over it again, and it looks totally good. So I find that the alcohol markers are a game changer for sure. Okay, so that was Petunia Pop Light. We're going to take Petunia Pop Dark next. And I'm using the fine tip just to do the little cuffs here. Just like that. And I think that's it. Then I'm going to get some yellow in the picture. So this is Light Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to color this lollipop. There, you saw how many times I colored over that just to deepen the shade, and it does just a great job of doing that. Now I'm going to use Dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to color his little pants there. So I'm going to use the fine tip just because that's close to so many other colors. The two tips are really, really helpful. Okay, so there's that. And finally, we're going to use Pumpkin Pie. So we're not going to need Pumpkin Pie Light. We just need Pumpkin Pie, the dark version. And we are going to color this little pumpkin guy. I really like that they included this little pumpkin. It's so cute. All right. So now we're going to use the dies that coordinate with Spooky Halloween. So here are the dies. You can see that these two correspond with the little critters. You've got these two, and so this will correspond here with the pumpkin. And then you've got bats that'll cut out and some other things as well. So there's all kinds of things you can do with this set. We are going to need our little Franken dog here. So you can see that'll fit. and one of these. So these are the pumpkins. Both of these are pumpkins. Oh, and that's the broom, by the way. I forgot to mention that one. So it's nice they put 2 of these pumpkin ones in, so you could color a couple and cut them both out at the same time, which is nice. So I'm going to pull over my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Here it is. And here we go. I'm going to put my weathered plates in here. They're still going though. I have another brand new set waiting, but these ones are still fine. So I haven't bothered to get the new ones out yet. So I'm just going to cut these apart so I can do them one at a time. And you can also use washi to keep your figures in one place if you find that they move too much when you try to put the second plate on. I'm going to see if it'll work for me this time without that though. Let's see how I do. It just depends sometimes. All right, there's the little guy. Look at that. Oh, that's so cute. Oh yeah, I really like that one. I think it's so nice. Okay, so there's that one. Our little Franken dog is ready. And next we're going to cut out his little pumpkin, or her little pumpkin. So there's the pumpkin. I'm just going to move my die out of the way here so I don't lose it. And put the pumpkin on. Okay. Here's the pumpkin. So I'd love to hear what you think of this idea of doing a class a month, a free class a month on my Facebook Lives. This is just kind of a trial run for me to see what you think of it and whether you like this idea. All right, so I'm going to put this over here. Yeah, if you could leave me some comments underneath the video, I would love that, or even message me if you'd like to. And if you don't have a demonstrator already, I'd be very happy to help you out. Or if you want to take advantage of the joining deal, which is super good this month, I'd be happy to help you out with that as well. So just let me know, and I am here for you, my friends. Okay, so now we've got all these pieces, but the rest is actually really simple. So the most work was just coloring, but it was fun coloring. I don't really like to do anything fancy a lot of the time with my coloring, because I find that the colors themselves are so beautiful that you really don't need that. You can just use the markers and let the colors take the whole thing. So that's what I tried to do. This card base is Petunia Pop, and I'll get that ready. Then what we're going to do is adhere this basic black panel to the Granny Apple Green panel. So if you're new to Stampin' Up, you'll notice all these color names keep getting repeated from the markers and the paper itself, the fancy paper and the cardstock, because they all coordinate. So I find that's a really, really cool thing about Stampin' Up. We're going to take our circle here and we're going to put some dimensionals on the back. And we're going to adhere that to our panel. I'm not sure if there's really any up. It kind of looks a little bit random to me, but you can put it whatever way it looks like up to you. That's the beauty of working with a circle for sure. Now for this one, what I want to do is put this ribbon on. See where that ribbon is? I want it to go kind of through the middle of where this sentiment is. So I'll put my adhesives up here and down here so that they won't hit the ribbon in the middle. I find if you stick things to ribbon, it tends to move around a lot. And then, I don't know, I'm not really fond of it moving around all the time. So I like it to stay put. So I try to put my adhesives elsewhere. So here we are. Okay, so that's ready. And we will get our ribbon. Now this ribbon is spectacular, I have to say. This is Petunia Pop 1/4 inch iridescent ribbon. And it is lovely. Look at that iridescent shine. And it's so soft and smooth. I think it's one of the nicest ribbons I've seen them do in quite a while. It's a very, very nice ribbon. And what's even better than that is that you can flip it over from one side to the other and it's the same. There isn't a right side and a wrong side, which makes it way easier. So that's a really good thing. I am going to use glue dots here. Where'd they go? So these are mini glue dots that I got from Stampin' Up. And they are the perfect thing for ribbon. I find a dry glue like this works the best on ribbon. The wet glues will, the liquid glues, but they take a really long time to dry, and that's not any fun when you're trying to make your project and you want to finish, and now you got to wait for the glue to dry. That's not very nice. So I like to use the dry glue. Okay, so that's on. We can take our sentiment and we can add that now. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to put it more to the right than to the left, and you'll see why in just a minute here. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slip the ribbon through here, and we're just going to tie it once. So I find if you tie ribbon once, it'll generally go through the Canada Post mail slot. I mean, always check whether you have one of the slots at home you can check with, or you just want to ask the post office. But I find it'll work usually if you just tie it once. And once is all you need, actually. You don't really need more than that. So let's see. I just want to get this trimmed a little bit here. Okay. So this is the waist for my ribbon. That's why I like to tie right on the spool, because there's hardly any that you don't use. Okay, so there is my ribbon on. Everything's all set. Now we just need to look, or rather need to put on our stars of the show. So our little guy here, and the little pumpkin as well. I think I will put this on the lollipop too, just a small one. And I think a large one will fit on the pumpkin, so we're in good shape there. Okay, yeah. All right, so we're gonna take that and stick our little guy right on there. And now we're gonna arrange the pumpkin so it looks like he's carrying it. Oh, I put that over too far, didn't I? Okay, well, I'm going to take that off and move it slightly. You can lift them off if they haven't been stuck on very long, and if you're really careful. I was very tentative about doing that just to make sure I didn't rip anything. Okay, so we're going to put it so it looks like he's got it and kind of swinging it to the side there. So here's what we have so far. And now we're going to put our card panel on top of our card base. So I'm going to put one of these dimensionals on each corner, like I always do. And I put one in the middle because I mail a lot of my cards, and then the Canada Post machines, when they're doing their job, can push on the middle of the card and make it kind of saggy in the middle. So I always put one in the middle so it'll stay popped up. All right. So there we go. And now we just have some stars to put on. So I have some petunia pop and some white. Let's see. So let's put a little petunia pop one there and a white one next to it. And I think I'll put another white one down there. And these are 3 different sizes, so you can choose whatever size you like as well. And there is that card as well. So I'll bring all of them back on camera and you can see them all together again. And so once again, if you're interested in getting this class free, the packets free, I give you the envelopes, the card bases, all the pre-cut pieces that you need, and you supply the adhesives, the stamps, and the ink. But you can get the packets free when you spend $75 or more on or order with me, and I will send them to you absolutely free with no shipping cost to you for these packets as well. So thank you so much for watching my video today. I hope you've enjoyed this class and will tell me what you think of it. And meanwhile, have a wonderfully crafty day, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.